Hey everyone, it's Mark Ferguson with Invest for More, and welcome to another one of our real estate investing videos. This one is going to be a complete before and after fix and flip video. We go through all the numbers, the profit we made, and a few other tips on this property. So my most recent videos I've done like this, we've been doing on some problem properties we had for a very long time, always had an issue. So I thought I would do one on a property that went well, since I don't want you guys to think that all our properties are crazy and don't work out very well. Just a reminder, we have tons of more information on my flips on investformore.com/flips. Have a list of all the properties we're working on now, all the ones we've sold in the last couple of years. There's over 60 properties on that page with before and after videos and numbers, so check that out. This property I bought from my direct mail campaign, so I'll show you a picture of our little envelope we use, but I have a company that helps me out. They create the envelopes for us, create the notes, help create us lists for where we send those mailers to, kind of absentee landlords who live out of the area and elderly. Few different lists we send those to. And so we send those mailers out, and we usually get one deal per 1,000 or 2,000 letters we send. And we have a number on there that actually goes to a call center with that same company. They answer the phone live. They take notes, get as much information as they can. And when a call comes in, I get notified, can see the notes. I can contact that person. It's awesome. I love it. I always had problems doing direct marketing before because I didn't want to answer my phone. I didn't want to take those calls directly. Sometimes we use a voicemail to bring those in, and that just didn't work as well. So I love having that live call center. If anybody's interested, you can email me, mark@investformore.com, and I can put you in touch with that company. I just love them. So anyway, got a call in from this seller. The person had owned the house a few years. He had inherited it from, I think it's his aunt, and he kind of owned it partially with his sons. And he kind of bought them out. It's a weird situation, but had been rented for 7 years. And it wasn't in horrible shape, but it definitely had some wear and tear over those 7 years. He just wanted to sell it, get rid of it quick. He knew, it was worth a lot more if he fixed it up, but he didn't want to fix it up. So we agreed on a price of $312,000. Bought it from him. It was already vacant, so that was nice. And ended up putting quite a bit of money into the repairs and also the carrying costs and selling costs because it's such an inexpensive home. But then we sold it, as you can see, for $423,500 just now in November. We bought it in July, so only had it 4 months, which was great, but still had a lot of financing costs on this one. We used private money, and I'll go over all those numbers at the end. So turned out to be a great flip. Made over $40,000 on it. This is after we fixed it up, and didn't hold it that long. Was a pretty easy rehab. So I wish all of my deals went this well, but unfortunately you get good and bad ones. So I'll show you the videos too. You don't have to rely just on these pictures, but we'll jump to that right now. I'll show you exactly what the house looked like when we bought it. All right, so this property we bought for $312,000. Purchased it through my direct marketing campaign, where I send letters, postcards to different people. And this was a gentleman who had kind of inherited the house, or his kids had inherited it. He bought out his kids, and then they all decided together they just want to sell it after it's been rented for 6 years instead of fixing it up. It's a big house, doesn't need a lot of work, but it's so big that it's going to be expensive just because of all the painting, all the flooring we'll have to do. Hoping it'll sell from $420 to $440 in that range once we're done. We're in Firestone, Colorado, if you're curious. As you can see, it has big living room, 2-story living room, dining room, loft upstairs, all kinds of space around here. Like I said, we're gonna do paint, flooring, have to do some work in the kitchen. Gonna replace the counters, and we haven't decided if we're gonna replace the cabinets or try to paint them white, replace the appliances, So that should make things look a lot better. It does have hardwood in here, and I think we're gonna try and bring the hardwood all the way into the living room, dining room area. That'll make it look a lot nicer. Half bath on this floor. And it has a big family room as well down here. Take a look at the backyard. Not a huge yard, but it's in decent shape. Has air conditioning. Nice landscaping with the big rocks. A little pond here that's been neglected for a while. Oh, there's a fish in there. Look at that. And the outside is not in bad shape at all. It's actually been recently painted and it looks just fine. So we'll just clean things up a little bit back here. Nothing major. I'll take a peek downstairs. And even though, we're not doing a ton of work with baths and kitchens, we're still going to spend probably at least $30,000 on this rehab, just because of all the hardwood upstairs, paint everywhere, carpet, down here, bedrooms. It's over 4,000 square feet, so there's just a lot of it. And with a 2-story living room, dining room, that's them up on scaffolding or huge ladders painting, which can be more expensive as well. So another family room down here. Then you've got your bathroom with the jetted tub and the crazy dark tile. Not a huge fan of it. Not decided. It's got the shower up there. It'd be a lot of work to tear that all out and redo. So in a perfect world, we'd redo that to something more neutral, but maybe we can figure out a paint color or something else to make it not quite as dark. We'll see. It is a basement bath, so it's probably not going to make or break selling the house, and not a huge priority. And another bedroom down here. The other thing to consider too with these high-priced homes is when you're selling them, when you're fixing them up, everything's more expensive. Your financing costs will add up much faster. Your selling costs will be much higher because you're paying, real estate agents a percentage of your commission. Property taxes are higher. Utilities are higher because it's a bigger house. Property taxes, I think I said that. Insurance is a little higher because it's a bigger house. So all your costs are going to be more, and you have to figure that in when you're paying for these more expensive homes. Right, upstairs. You can kind of see it from downstairs, but there's a pretty neat loft right here. Good sized rooms. Does have the old gold brass fixtures, so we will replace those. The house I'm living in now has a loft. I'm a big fan of lofts, so always fun to see them. One of the bedrooms here. Another bedroom. You can see that window. Might have a broken seal, or might just be dirty. But when it gets, I think it's a broken seal, moisture condensation on the inside, that means the seal's broken, you need a new window, or it resealed. Bathroom here. Not super fancy, oak vanity, but it's got the tile top that's in good condition. Kind of builder grade surround. It's not tile, it's just one surround, but it's in good shape. So those are the type of things I don't think we have to tear out and go all out on. since it is just a hall bath. And then we have the master over here. So, big room. You can kind of peek at the mountains between the houses. Not an amazing view, but a small one of the mountains. And here's the master bath. So, has kind of a shower with, again, the one piece surround next to the bathtub, which is a jetted tub, again with the surround. So if we were to replace all this, we have to get a new tub, new tile, everything. So I mean, maybe we replace the shower and tile it to make it a little nicer. We'll have to figure that out. But you just, you can't spend too much money on these houses or you're not going to make any money. And on something like this where we could leave the top, maybe even paint these white too, like the kitchen, that could make things look a lot better and not be as pricey as replacing the whole thing, because those giant vanities like that are pretty expensive. And here we have the walk-in closet. All right, so that's the house. We'll get to work on it right away. As I said, paying $312,000 for it. Our interest on our money is going to be a lot higher. I'm using private money to fund this deal. Taxes, insurance, utilities, all that's going to be much higher. So the sooner we can flip it, the better. So we'll get to work on this one right away. Get some painters out here, flooring guys out here, and we might have one of our employees work on doing fixtures, painting, some of the cabinets, things like that. And hopefully, in less than a month, we can get it ready to go and get it back on the market. We'll see. This house, like I said, we bought for $312,000. I am in Firestone, Colorado, and we're going to be listing it for $429,900. So we did quite a bit of work on this house, but we actually ended up spending less than $30,000 on everything. The big expenses were paint and flooring, and we were able to save most everything else, well, except for light fixtures. So if you look at the before video, this was all carpet when we bought it. We added this hardwood in the living room and dining room. The hardwood was already in the kitchen, kind of breakfast area over there. So we added it, then refinished all of it, and then painted the whole house. So we had our hourly employee, who I think we pay him $22 an hour now. Really skilled, does a lot of different stuff for us, but he did most of the painting on this one. I believe this had the oak trim everywhere when we bought it, so we painted it all white, then did a little contrast with the black railing up there. Then we'll go up there soon. I think we spent $17,000 on flooring, so the hardwood, carpet everywhere, and then the granite counters. We had one company do all of that. So this is the kitchen here, which we left. These were oak cabinets. We painted them white, which saved us, who knows, $7,000, $8,000 probably. But we replaced the countertops with the granite, replaced the backsplash, and we put a little nicer appliances in this house than we normally do in our flips, just because it's going to be in that $400,000 price range. You can see we have the double oven instead of just a cheap regular oven. Not cheap, but lower priced oven we put in our other flips. It's a family room. Again, carpet, paint, light fixtures. It's about all we did here. And I'll go outside real fast. Again, it was nice. This yard was in decent shape. Didn't have to do much back here. And it has a little pond that still has goldfish in it. It's got a bigger one in there somewhere hiding. Those. Here's the half bath on the main floor. Didn't do much in there except the hardwood. And then I keep forgetting to show you guys the garage. Here's this little laundry room in the garage, which is not super exciting. 2-car. Got to get that stove out of here soon. And then some leftover hardwood from the hardwood guys. All right, we'll head downstairs first. This one has a finished basement. So yeah, almost 4,000 square feet. So there's a lot of carpet, a lot of paint that we had to do. Furnace and hot water heater in there. Then there's family room with a fireplace that was already there. And this bathroom, which is super dark, and some might go as far as to say super ugly, but we're not tearing all that out and replacing it for a basement bathroom. It's just not worth it. So we cleaned it up a little bit, left it the same. I mean, it really should not affect the value too much and would save thousands of dollars leaving that tile there. Has another bedroom here. And Nikki, my project manager, likes to say every house comes with a murder room. And so this one has kind of a creepy little closet under the stairs, and she calls that the murder room for this house. So to make sure our houses have those. And we'll head back upstairs. And this house has a loft, which I think is super cool as well. You can see overlooks the living room. New carpet up here. Lots of paint. And then one of the bedrooms. Another bedroom. We've got the hall bath, which, as you can see, we didn't do much with it either. We did paint the vanity, but left the countertop the same, the tub we left the same. I mean, it's a relatively cheap surround and tub. But again, you know, we're saving $1,500 in materials and tear out and new tile to make it look super nice, and you don't really need it in this house. It'd be nice, but it probably won't make it sell for any more money. Here is the master bedroom with a squeaky fan. Might have to fix that. Good size room. And then here, we were worried as well. Had this bathtub shower combination, which is, again, kind of the prefab surround, and it was super dirty. We were worried it wasn't going to clean up, but it did, and everything looks really good. So saved us a ton of money there too, not replacing all those. Walk-in closet there. Bathroom vanity, which we painted white, but kept the countertop the same. And that is about all of the property. So definitely saved money on this one for how big it was by not completely gutting the bathrooms, redoing them, not completely gutting the kitchen, redoing it. But I think it still looks really good. Paint and carpet make it look really good. It's still going to be much nicer than most of the other houses for sale in this neighborhood, because they'll all be 15, 20 years old and have those same oak, you know, brass fixtures,
most of those are not remodeled as nice as this one. So you don't have to make everything perfect when you do these flips.
All right, so we put the house up for sale. Always a little worried when you're pricing houses this high. I mean, it's not that high, but just once you get above 350,000, things slow down a little bit. So we weren't sure exactly how long it would take to sell. But you can see right here the listing history. We listed it October 9th, and we got an offer first or second day. It wasn't full price, but it was close enough for us. We were happy, accepted it, and then it ended up selling, 40 days later. So I wish all of our deals went this smoothly when we listed them, but that doesn't always happen. Notice. I wanted to go over this and show you exactly what these can look like. These can vary greatly, though, based on the real estate agent creating them. It's on a Colorado state-approved form, but the agent or broker writes in everything they want done. So you can see some really clean, nice inspection objections, or you can see some really crazy ones that are very unspecific as well. So we always try to respond to these with our own wording to make sure everything is clear. We don't want there to be any, problems right before closing with, we thought this was being done when we thought something else was being done. So we try and make it very clear. That's the number one thing. So we'll go through this and read exactly what it says real quick here. The following items shall be addressed by the seller at the seller's expense and receipts provided prior to closing. The first thing I would do is I not say address, I would say repaired or fixed, because addressed can mean many different things to many people. So that's the first thing I would do if I was an agent. Roof. Seller to have a licensed roofer evaluate the roof and roof flashing and make corrections or replace as needed. There is no such thing as a licensed roofer in Colorado, but that's okay. Not a big deal. But we did have that done. The roof turned out to be fine. We had it looked at like 3 different times by different roofers. It was fine every time. It did need some really minor repairs. Electrical. Seller shall have the exterior patio light operational. Reverse polarity will be corrected in the basement outlets, and GFCI outlets will be operational. Not sure what happened. There's just some really minor stuff we had to fix. That was really easy. Agreed to do that too. Heating, air conditioning. Furnace location will be adjusted to meet 30-inch space requirement in front of furnace. Furnace will be cleaned and serviced and certified to be in working order. Combustion air vent will be added to furnace closet. So this was a brand new furnace we had to put in, even though the house wasn't that old. A lot of times furnaces will need to be replaced if they aren't maintained well. And this 30-inch thing is code right now, but it wasn't code when the house was built. And our HVAC guy actually said, yeah, we can move it, no problem. So we agreed to do that, and then it turns out once he got the furnace out of there was a big plumbing pipe behind it, and we couldn't actually do it, and we told the sellers that. They were fine with it. But you will see this all the time with inspection requests where they'll ask you to make things up to current code, even though when the house was built, many of those things were built to code, but code changed. So we always like to think of it as a safety issue. If our HVAC guy says it's a safety issue or it's easy, we'll agree to it. If it's not a safety issue and they just want the entire house up to code, we do not agree to it unless it's super easy, doesn't cost us any money. There's just no point in rebuilding an entire house when you don't need to. All right, bathrooms. In hall bath, the tub, faucet, shower diverter will be operational. In basement, bathtub, faucet, shower diverter, whirlpool, and drain stopper will all be operational. And we did some of this, but not all of it. I'll show you in what we agreed to do here soon. Garage shall have doors and openers serviced, and any repairs made as needed. We did do that. One of the garage doors, it wasn't closing right, or the little sensor that tells you to pop up when something's in the way wasn't working right. So we had that done. Fireplace, seller shall have both fireplaces cleaned, serviced, and repairs made as needed. So they wanted us to clean the chimneys for the fireplaces because the inspector told them they needed to do that. What's interesting is these were gas fireplaces. They don't have chimneys. They just have vents. So we actually agreed to do this, and the fireplace guy's like, these are gas. There's nothing to be cleaned. They're fine. So that's kind of interesting. Radon. Seller to have a radon mitigation system installed on the property. We did do that. Those are about $900. Radon is a pretty big problem in Colorado. It's a gas. You can't see it, smell it. And it has been shown to cause cancer. We find it in the basements a lot. A lot of houses around here have it. So if buyers want this, we almost always put in the radon system. And smoke detectors shall have a smoke alarm installed at the basement stair landing. We had them everywhere else. I'm not sure if that was code or what, but we did do that. It's super easy. So now I'll show you exactly what we agreed to. Okay, so I was completely wrong. We did just agree to do everything they asked. So, and when we do this, like for example, with the heating question or the bathrooms, we'll go to our plumber and say, hey, is this stuff going to be expensive? Is it going to be easy to do? How hard will it be? And we'll do the same with our HVAC guy or the roofer before we agree to do all this stuff. So we'll talk to them. We have a few days to figure it out to make sure it's not going to be some crazy repair or not possible, which the 30-inch thing ended up not being possible, but we thought it was, but it still worked out. And we did all the repairs, got them all done before closing, and everybody was happy. Here are the numbers on this property. Show you what it sold for, what we bought it for, all that. So we bought it for $312,000, sold it for $423,500 with $5,000 in concessions. So the buyers asked us to pay $5,000 of their closing costs. Very common. You know, when you're buying a house, you have your down payment and you also have closing costs, which could be like loan origination fees, possibly the appraisal, title fees, and sometimes the buyers ask the sellers to pay those so that they have less cash to bring. So this would deduct from that offer. It's basically a $418,500 offer. We had $30,000 in repairs. Carrying costs were $1,721. Financing costs a little over $17,000. A lot of financing costs on this one, and selling costs over $15,000. So for the repairs, we put in new flooring everywhere, and it's a big house. Plus, we add the hardwood. So the flooring was very expensive on this. We added the granite counters, painted everything. We had our handyman who we pay hourly paint this, so very affordable for us to use him. He painted the whole thing himself. Had to replace the furnace, light fixtures, used a little nicer appliances in this one than we normally do. Replacing the inspection items wasn't too bad. Then we had some miscellaneous things that always pop up. Total $30,000. Financing costs, $312,000 loan with private money at 11%. So I have a friend / investor who loans me money. He charges 11%, 2 points, and I can text him and he'll say yes or no. And it's almost always yes if he has the money. So it's so easy. Yes, the rate's a little high, but he doesn't even look at the address or the house. He just is willing to loan us money, and he's very flexible. So we had to pay $6,240 in points. That's 2% of the $312. Interest over 4 months, about $11,000. So total over $17,000 in financing costs. Carrying costs, not too bad because we didn't have the property for very long. Insurance, we get insurance, we pay for a year. Then when the house is sold, we cancel the insurance and usually get a refund on the part we didn't use. Property taxes, I know, property taxes are cheap in Colorado, only $2,700 a year for this property. Our portion is $921 since it's prorated for the time we own the property. Maintenance, mowing the lawn, not much here, but a little bit while we own the property as well. So that's where we get the $1,721 in carrying costs. Selling costs, we paid for title insurance when we bought the property, have a hold open policy, so a little bit more when we sell it. Closing fees, we buying it from a private seller, so we pay more closing fees on this than normal because we pay for his closing fee. Then we pay another closing fee when we sell it. There's some recording fees, other things that we pay, and commissions. So no commission when I bought it. I didn't get one back like I do when I buy from the MLS. But I did pay a commission to the agent who sold it, who represented the buyers when we listed it. So that's what that commission is. So we had $15,000 in selling costs as well. So here's the total profit numbers. $312,000 we bought it for, sold it for $423,500, had the concessions which come out of there, the repairs, the carrying costs, financing costs, selling costs. If you subtract all those costs, we get $41,894. So we had $10,000 difference between the selling price and buying price. So there's always a lot of costs on these flips. And on this one, it wasn't so much the repairs as it was the financing costs and selling costs. So I could have used a local bank to buy this one, but then I would have had $100,000 down payment, and they probably would have wanted an appraisal done. So it's just nice to have that extra money to do on more deals, and it makes me more money in the long run to be able to keep that cash buying other properties than it does to use all cash or use a bank with a huge down payment on this property and save $5,000, maybe a little more in financing costs. All right, so that's the property. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave us a comment if you have any questions at all. Give us a thumbs up if you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe to see more like this, more of our other advice videos, all that good stuff. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.